If a woman truly loves you, she will change things you never asked her to change. And if you miss this sign, you might spend years chasing the wrong kind of attention. Let me tell you something most men are never taught. Real love doesn't arrive loudly. It doesn't kick the door down with passion, promises, or dramatic words. Genuine love is quiet at first. It slips into her behavior before it ever reaches her mouth. And the first thing she does when she genuinely loves you is she creates emotional safety around you without announcing it. A woman who loves you doesn't make you feel like you're being tested every time you speak. She doesn't twist your words to win an argument. She listens differently. Not to respond, not to correct you, but to understand where you're coming from. You'll notice that when you talk about something personal, your doubts, your stress, even your failures, she doesn't weaponize it later. She guards it. That's not accidental, that's instinct. Love makes a woman protective of a man's inner world. Here's where men get confused. They think attraction is love. Attraction is intense. Love is consistent. When a woman genuinely loves you, her emotions don't swing wildly depending on how much attention you give her that day. She doesn't punish you with silence to gain control. Instead, she tries to resolve tension, even when she's upset, not because she's weak, but because peace with you matters more than winning. Pay attention to how she handles your vulnerability. A woman who is only interested in what you provide will feel uncomfortable when you stop performing. She'll dismiss your feelings or subtly pressure you to be strong, so she doesn't have to deal with your humanity. But a woman in love does the opposite. She creates space for you to be human. She softens when you open up. Her tone changes. Her body language leans in instead of pulling away. Another sign most men overlook is how she speaks about you when you're not around. A woman who genuinely loves you defends your character in rooms you'll never enter. She doesn't embarrass you to bond with others. She doesn't expose your flaws for laughs. Even when she's frustrated, she protects your dignity. That's love showing itself through loyalty, not romance. You'll also notice something subtle but powerful. She adjusts her life to include you, not in a dramatic way, not by sacrificing her identity, but by naturally making space. She plans differently. She considers your schedule, your energy, your future. You stop feeling like an accessory and start feeling like a factor. That shift doesn't happen with infatuation. It happens with intention. And here's the part that might sting a little. When a woman genuinely loves you, she doesn't try to control you. She doesn't need to. Control is rooted in fear. Love is rooted in trust. So instead of micromanaging your behavior, she believes in your judgment. She gives you freedom and watches how you handle it. That's not a test. That's respect. If you've never experienced this, don't assume it doesn't exist. It does, but it only shows up when a woman feels emotionally safe, valued, and seen. And the moment you start confusing chaos with chemistry, you train yourself to miss real love when it finally arrives. You'll start noticing it in the little details, the things that don't scream "I love you," but whisper it so quietly you almost miss them. A woman who genuinely loves you pays attention to your moods before you even say a word. She senses tension in your shoulders, hears the stress in your voice, and asks questions that go beyond the surface. She remembers the small things you mention in passing, the joke that made you laugh, the movie you wanted to see, the dream you've barely admitted to yourself. And she uses these details not to manipulate, but to connect, to create moments that make you feel understood in ways few people ever will. This kind of love is active, not passive. She doesn't wait for you to tell her what you need. She anticipates it. If you've had a long day, she'll know when to give you space and when to lean in. She'll notice the nights you need comfort without asking. That's not overthinking. That's devotion. That's love expressed through observation and intention. And the more she does this, the more you'll realize that what you once thought were random acts of kindness are actually expressions of a deep emotional investment. One of the most revealing signs is how she handles conflict. A woman in genuine love doesn't escalate fights to prove a point. She doesn't keep score. She doesn't harbor grudges for minor mistakes. Instead, she approaches disagreements with a desire to understand and heal. She communicates with care, even when emotions are raw. That doesn't mean she suppresses her feelings. It means she values the relationship more than being right. And when a man truly sees this, it shifts something inside him. He recognizes a rare balance of passion and patience, desire and restraint. Another subtle but powerful sign is how she includes you in her future, not just in words, but in action.